Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, December 10th. Looking at window traders market profile of ES and NQ. So the landscape changed a little bit on our charts as we end up with a kind of a methodical trend day down late. ES had trend day early in the day, failed, but they go out with a set of single prints. NQ goes out with one. We go out with basically a price spike in both and price probe. Righty ends 9 wide, and that's it. The day's high and low. Righty now is down on the weekly and the daily. Their monthly is up. NQ is now down on the daily, but still up on the weekly. ES is up on the monthly, but now balance on the weekly and down on the daily. Now again, this is pretty healthy. I don't have a problem with this. I'm still going to stand by for now that I don't think the next 2.5 weeks of this year we see anything of real significant downside. Be a little surprised. So we'll see how much they really do want to take back. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go and blow through all new highs by the end of the month, but I'd be a little surprised if we had any real downdraft over the last 2.5 weeks. So coming into balance like this on the weeklies, not a bad thing, right? To prepare themselves maybe for the new year. They've had a really good year this year. I had a good day. The majority of it, not the majority, 99.9% came in the morning, A through E. Even though that trend day down is my favorite type of day, and we did get decent distance in KL and even M in NQ, I didn't take advantage of it. Volume stunk, but we were getting some decent pushes. We did get into that large gap from December 4th, did not fill it in NQ. So we started off, I actually front ran the overnight high in NQ with a short, which paid nicely. Did a lot of trades in A period. There's a lot of little ones that worked out. So that worked out. I think I got 7 or 8 points on it. I took a long, I'm saying I took a long versus yesterday's low. That cannot be right in NQ. That's not right. I don't know. Well, I took, before we got the overnight high, I'm trying to think why I took the long. I wrote yesterday's low, but it's not that. It had to be something, whether it was the 144 watt. I took that. Then I took a long to get the overnight high. And the first time, I lost money on it. But then the second time, I got it. Not with a lot. I wasn't too confident. The tempo wasn't great, whatever. I only did a 2 lot. So, in fact, I think a couple of these I did not do anywhere near my 5 lot allocation. But I did finally get it. I did short, though, against the afternoon rally high when we did get it and added at one point and against a single print fill. And it turned out to be a nice trade as it came in. And then when it did come in, I got long against the 144 again. So I was very active in A period. I did not stay in these trades long at all because it was a lot of chop. But except for the one loss I took initially trying to get the overnight high, everything worked out in A period. I did take a quick long on the turnover in B. We ended up getting A's high, so I did get that trade. The one-time framing, but it was small. Again, it was only with a 2 lot. C period. We were one-time framing up. Took one long against the one-time framing, which worked out the first time. Then it kept coming down like I'm not doing that. I actually did get the IB low. Again, only with a 2 lot. Just wasn't confident. We were inside yesterday's range. It was It was a inside day at the time. Value was unchanged to start. Then it went overlapping to higher. They pushed it up pretty good. Then they started coming in again. We ended unchanged. I'm in threes here. If I put it back to twos or whatever, it's unchanged. It was overlapping yesterday's high and low. So it was a decent A, B, and C, but nothing was big I traded. I took the short and D period because we were one time framing down. I took a short in E because we had single prints to start. That worked out. And then that was it. We started getting a very grindy. I did miss G. That was a miss. Because we were talking to the room, I said, I want to see if we don't get back to A's low to get 4 wide and we keep POC down here and we rotate back down, which is what we did. But I didn't take that short in G. No excuse not to. And then I took one short in L period, made some on that, but nothing big. And that was it. So again, it was a good day. It was a difficult day early. A lot of MGI flying all over. The Bears, though, now 2 days in a row. Yesterday in ES, they won 7-0 in the sheet. Today, 7-2. Yesterday NQ 7-0. Today, 6-1. So that's the good news for the Bears. The bad news is the volume is just as horrible on the way down as it's been on the way up. So it's only longs liquidating. There's no long-term money getting out. And yes, there's definitely some shorts jumping in when you have trend days like this. No doubt about it. But nothing of any real consequence. So today's high is 75.25 in ES. Afternoon rally high 68.50. Single prints 48.50 to 54. Price probe at 45. And today's low of 39.75. And then there's one set of single prints left down at 33 in ES. SPY. Today's high is 605.80. Afternoon rally high is 605.02. Single prints 602.93 to 603.53. Price probe at 602.66 and today's low of 602.13. SPY never got into any of those single prints in the 29th. ES filled 2 sets and got into the third. Okay? Now let's look at the charts. I'll show you a couple of these things because the landscape has changed a bit. Okay? So here's ES first. Here's the monthly. Monthly's still very healthy. It's up. It's one time framing up 4 months, including this month. But the weekly, it's coming to balance. How big is the balance? We don't know yet. We'll see how much more this week does. If we come down more, then it will be more than a 2-week balance. If this is it, then it'll be a 2-week balance. But more importantly, they're back to balance. And the daily is now down. Okay? Now, let's look at triple Qs. Daily is down. But the weekly, look at the difference here. We're nowhere near last week's low. Okay? Last week's low in NQ, triple Qs is 510.62. We're still $10 above last week's low. It's an inside week so far. However, it's still very healthy right now. So big difference between NQ and ES. And then I'll show you Russell too because they've changed. Again, we talk about this. All-time high in Russell. So far, I've not taken out last month's high. Still up though. But look at the weekly. Now down. They came into balance last week. They're down on the weekly. And the daily also down. So is Russell going to give us some sort of a repeat that it did the last time it hit its all-time high 3 years ago? All remains to be seen. Anyway, I hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.